Hey, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We're so happy you're here. We're always happy you're here. Tuesday's my favorite night of the week. This week was crazy, and this is going to be my reward. This show is going to be my reward for a really crazy week. Tonight, we have two very special people. We have Lorraine Leckie and her husband, Billy Leroy. These are two iconic, amazing, gorgeous, creative artists in every sense of the word. And they are cool as cool can be. And they're lovely human beings. And I am so thrilled to have them. So, Leo, hit that promo.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am.
Oh, I can already tell it's going to be such a fun show. So, Leo, thank you for sneaking in that little bark. That little bark is Brogan, who is Billy and Lorraine's dog, and he's famous. Apparently, he's famous all over town. So, Leo knew about him. Lori's told me about him, John. So, great things are about to happen. Okay, so we have so much to cover this week, but it's all joyful stuff. All joyful stuff. First of all, I haven't listened to the news in 3 days, and I feel great. I feel great. And even when I decided my two least favorite words now are breaking news. I really don't want to hear it. Breaking news, whatever. I've been swiping and getting rid of it. Unless a bomb falls on my head, I don't want to know about it. Like, just somebody else take care of it. I'm over it. And you know me, I'm very politically active, but I need a break. And I am getting ready for my show. I have a show at Green Room 42 this Sunday, May 25th. Kenny Holcomb made that poster, by the way. How cool is that? Thank you, Kenny. May 25th, which is this Sunday at 9:30 at Green Room 42, which is on 10th Avenue and 41st Street in the Yotel Hotel. And the space is spectacular. It is just beautiful. It really lends itself to, you just really want to listen. I've seen many shows there. And I've also the live stream. If you're out of town or you can't make it for whatever reason, or you can't watch it that night, the live stream, if you buy the live stream, it's good for 24 hours, which means you could watch it in the middle of the night, start it. You'll get a link, and that link is good for 24 hours. Now, if you do get the link and you don't watch it right away, they put about 40 minutes worth of advertisement on the front of it. So when you do click the link, if you don't watch it live, just know that. Like, kind of scroll under. I mean, you can listen to all the stuff they advertise. It's all cool stuff. They have interviews and stuff. But you can scroll forward and just go to the show. So a lot of people, sometimes they get lost and say, well, you have a 2-hour show? No, my show is about 70 minutes. But they will have lots of fun and cool stuff ahead of that with the link.
Should
Yes,
be a
Leah.
marathon is what it should be.
I know. It's going to be good. No, I've gotten many links there, and sometimes I watch the interviews, and sometimes I start the live link. Whatever it is, it's just a cool thing. You know what I love about the live stream? Let's say you watch it like a few hours later. Like me, you know how crazy my life is. I'll be watching it, and then the phone rings. You can stop it, pick up the phone, whatever, or go in, make a coffee or whatever you like, come back, and then start it like continue it. So it's cool for people like me with that.
You
ADD
can pause
brain.
it and go pee without interrupting anybody's view.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Leo,
That's what I'm going to be doing.
look at your Rico Suave hair today. You got something going on today. I'm loving
Just
it.
it's been washed.
I love it. Looks really cute. All right, let's check in with our peeps. Mandor,
It's popping off in there.
can you believe Mandor Chick Maggot is back? Mandor, where the hell did you go? I thought you got
What,
married.
no
or
date
something
tonight?
like that. Do you have to dress like a leprechaun? Oh, Green Room 42? No, but please go ahead. I mean, you'd be the first Indian. He'd be the first Indian leprechaun I've ever met, but I'm sure there's more than
Still
one.
dancing though.
Yeah. Oh, he's a dancing fool. Danielle Alexandria Alchemy, my friend, Leo's friend. We love Danielle. Happy Tuesday
Yes.
and happy birthday week. Thanks, honey. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm very excited about that. I'm going to be 63 and I'm
Woohoo!
owning it. I love it. You know why I wouldn't change my age or lie about it? Because that means I change my history. And I don't want to change my history. I love my history, especially my musical history. So that's why I never lie about my age. So Danielle is a medium, a spiritual teacher, a guide. She does past life regression. She does spirit animal readings. Please go to DanielleAlexandriaAlchemy.com. There it is. Thank you, Leo. Click on that and just go and check out what she has. She has so many services. I personally love the quantum session. It's phenomenal. You get about an hour with Danielle via Zoom, or you can do it over the phone, and she will blow your mind. She will know things that you're like, how did she know that? And I recommend writing everything down because it comes at you with such passion that you sometimes you're like, what? But it's very good to. And then she records it for you and sends it to you. It's wonderful. You can't go wrong. I gave it as gifts as well, and that's a great gift. Let me see who else we have. We have Lori Towers. Thank you, honey, for the birthday wishes. I'm excited. Tomorrow's my birthday, but here's the thing, and you know me, I love cake more than anything. But I've been on the keto for like 3 weeks now, after the Mac Awards because I'm really trying to lose weight for the show. So I'm not even gonna have birthday cake tomorrow. Can you believe it? That's how good I'm gonna be.
You can
Because
get a keto-friendly cake.
I guess. But you know me, Leo, if I start eating, it's over. I'm not gonna stop eating.
You
I'm
should
not.
have something dark chocolate at least.
Yeah, okay, maybe a little something like that. Dark chocolate and marshmallow. Maybe, yeah, that's not a bad idea. But then right after my cabaret show on Sunday night, I'm eating like that's all I'm saying.
I
I'm gonna
think Julia
take
Childs last week said that you could have those
oh my God.
marshmallows.
Thank you for reminding me. Okay,
Oh
so
my god.
last week on our show we had Mario Cantone, who everybody knows as, he's a famous comedian. He was on Sex and the City, he's on And Just Like That. He's on Gravesend. He is TCM's co-host for certain festivals, but he's just my great friend from high school, and we have been laughing like that, like we laughed last week since I was 16. So, boy, did we have fun on last week's show. And this week, last night, as a matter of fact, Judy and I went to see Mario at Cafe Carlisle, which, by the way, I had never been to. I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was swanky, so we had to dress up. And of course, that's easy for Judy because she's gorgeous and dresses beautifully. But I had to clean it up too. So, but we had great seats. We sat right next to the stage, and they have I'm not gonna lie, it's a little expensive. It's on the expensive side. However, there's like a prefix thing, and you get the food is phenomenal, like beyond phenomenal. And it's a good, you know what it is? It's a true New York upscale experience, which I don't always get drawn to that stuff, but I got to tell you, I had a really great time. And then we hung out with Mario afterwards. It was really nice. So I highly recommend it. Mario will be there. The next 2 nights he won't be there because Just Like That is having their premiere and something else. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this week he's going to be there. So if you want to get tickets to Mario's show, go and see Mario. And then Sunday, if you want, come and see me. So Mario's show is they open the doors at 7:30, but his show starts around 9. So you can eat and all that, and then the show happens. It's great. So I highly recommend anything Mario does because he's funny as hell, and he also sings, and the songs are hysterical. We couldn't breathe.
My sides hurt last week.
Last week's show.
By the time I watched it again, I could not. I was just done.
I know. I watched it a couple times. It was hysterical. So Rena Crignali Berge says, happy birthday. Eve, thank you, my sweet cousin from Massachusetts. John Pietero, who we love, is here with us. Let me see who else. I don't want to miss anybody. Gene Simpson Dunn. Hi, honey. I wish you were fly on the wall last night at Mario's show. You would have loved it. Gene and I, when we were, Gene was right out of high school. we used to go see Mario at different comedy clubs in Boston because that's where he started. And no keto cake. You know, I'm sure there's a keto cake out there somewhere. I'm gonna find one tomorrow. Barry Silber, hi honey. I am stoked about seeing you. Barry is so sweet. Barry lives in Florida. He also has a place in Philadelphia, and he's taking a train an hour and 20 minutes to come see my show. Barry, you have no idea how much that means to me. Thank you, honey. I'm really, really moved that you're going to do that. I promise to give you your money's worth. Lynn Porter's genius. There she is. Tomorrow, baby. Tomorrow's my birthday. Lynn and I are exactly 6 months apart. So I'm May 21st. She's Scorpio. I'm a Gemini. She's a Scorpio. She is November 21st. And Lynn is my musical director for the show. So she's brilliant as always. And it's going to be great. Mandor, what the hell are you doing Sunday? If you're not doing anything, you should come to the show. If not, just get a live stream. What?
Lenny, are you a borderline Scorpio Sagittarian? Because that's right on the mark.
It is on the cusp, but I'll tell you this, because I know my grandfather was a Scorpio and he was the 22nd, and my uncle Nicky is a Sag and he's the 23rd. So that's the cusp, 22nd to 23rd, and that. I mean, it's a little cusp.
You know what? I never see Lynn angry. I wonder if she's got that Sagittarian.
She has
when
maybe
she
a little
that
Sagittarian
part,
wind,
maybe.
Perhaps.
Maybe that's why.
Lynn's
That's why we
phenomenal.
love her.
We're having so much fun.
I love her anyway.
And Vinny Palumbo, we had a nice conversation this week. Hi, he said, Bella mia, happy birthday. Bello mio, grazie tanto. So, oh, by the way, I was talking to Lorraine yesterday. She's Italian. She's so cool. So we were speaking Italian. I mean, we have to zoom her in like immediately because we have so much to cover. And then we're going to get Billy in there as well. We had the most wonderful, wonderful conversation. So, and we're going to introduce you. If you don't know her already, some of you know her, some of you don't. You're going to fall in love with Lorraine. You're going to just fall in love with Lorraine. She's amazing and talented and sweet and all the things Lori told me she was. Lori, you didn't lie. She said, "Oh, you're going to love each other." And she was right. So there she is. Her name is Lorraine Leckie. She is a singer, songwriter. She's an artist on all levels. She's a poet. She works in fashion, and her husband is in all kinds of antiques and props, and they're just like the most fascinating people. So what do you think? You think we're ready?
I think we're ready. Are you guys ready?
Yes, I think they are. So what do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Put your hands together for Lorraine Leckie. And she is saving a seat there for her husband, Billy, who's going to join us. Hi, Lorraine.
Buonasera, cara mia.
Oh, my God. That's so sexy. I love it. Lorraine and I were speaking Italian yesterday. I was like, what? So, Lorraine, tell everybody why you speak Italian so beautifully.
Mi parlo inglese. I worked in Italy in the fashion business many years ago. When I was in my 20s, and into my 30s.
And what did you do there exactly in the fashion industry?
So I was a makeup artist in the fashion industry. Wow. Yeah.
It's so cool. So that's where you learned to speak Italian.
In Milano.
Milano.
You
know what? I love Italy. Milano's not my favorite place because it's very much like New York. But I mean, it's so fascinating, right? But I love Rome. Have you ever been to Rome?
Of course.
Oh my God. It's like
Rome, Firenze, Venezia, and Milano has the best kitchen because it's an industrial city and it's for working people. And so during the week, everyone eats.
Yeah.
And the best restaurants, I think,
oh my God.
in the world.
Incredible. Incredible. And the hotels are beautiful. And it's just really, it's incredible. Milan is very upscale, I think. Right? It's like fancy schmance. Yeah.
You say you're dirt poor and you're like, wow, I have stories from there like you can't imagine.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Now, you are not Italian. I mean, you speak beautiful Italian. You work there, but you are originally from where? Tell everybody.
Whitby, Ontario, Canada.
Well, can I tell you something? And I'm not just saying this. because I'm trying to get on your good side, because I think I'm already on your good side. I told you this yesterday, I've never met a Canadian I didn't love. I swear to God, every person that I've ever met from Canada, I love. Canadians are amazing people. So thank you.
They're like a cross between English and American. They're right in the middle.
Yeah, I guess you could say
Oh,
that, right? But they're
absolutely.
warmer than the Brits. I mean, I love the Brits. I have a million British friends, but I find Canadians to be warmer than Americans and the British.
Well, they're deceiving. They're very subtle, but don't rustle them up,
What
which
was
they've
it?
rustled up recently.
Oh well, you know what? I don't blame them. I'd be rustled up too.
They have little red stickers on all their on in all the stores. Canadian, buy
Good.
Canadian.
Good. You know what? We should be buying Canadian too. I mean, whatever is Canadian, buy it, folks. Because first of all, Canada has done nothing but right by us. This is bizarre. This is a world I know nothing about. This new bizarre world. So that's why I wanted to start by saying that I have a lot of friends that are Canadians, and most of them are from Toronto.
Right.
Yeah, I find the music scene in Toronto is really hopping, right?
Absolutely. And I come from Whitby is 25 miles east of Toronto. So when
Okay.
I was 17, I moved to Toronto and I love Toronto. And I go back there every 3 months and play. And, I'm recorded a song there. And I have a great promoter, Gary Taw, who brings me in sometimes. And sometimes I just go and do small shows, but I'm always going back every few months.
Oh, that's great. And I'm sure they love you, right?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Toronto's a wonderful city. It's
Yeah.
it's it's really fun. It's really fun. I mean, I wouldn't go there in like January, February, March because it's
Right,
so
right. So
cold.
cold. Yeah.
It's really cold, a lot
Yeah.
colder than New York.
Oh, yeah. And I grew up in Massachusetts. So in even Massachusetts, it's colder than New York. But then if you're going to keep going north, it's going to get colder.
Yeah, and I have a cousin, Laurel, who has sled dogs up north.
Really?
She's way in the north of Ontario, and she has Bracebridge. She has sled dogs.
Wow.
I'm always joking I'm going to bring Brogan up there to meet these big sled dogs. Yeah.
What do you think he'll do?
Oh,
Wow.
he's right in with them. He
Oh,
has
yeah.
here.
He's feisty. How long have you had Brogan?
We've had him since 2019, October 4th. It was a birthday present for Billy.
Oh, I love that.
2019. Yeah.
Is Billy a Libra? Is Billy born in October?
Yes.
So he's a
Yes.
Libra.
October 4th.
Oh, that makes sense. My girlfriend's a Libra. I know many, many, many Libras. The men are very sweet. The women are feisty. The Libra women are feisty. Libra men are very sweet. And when's your birthday, Lorraine?
July 20th.
Oh, right. We talked same day as my niece. You're a Cancer.
Yes. Yes. And I'm
Very.
going to have a birthday party at Pete's Candy Store this year.
Okay, so now you went from being in the fashion industry
Mhm.
and working constantly to being like a rocker, like a total rocker with 8 albums. How does that happen?
Well, what happened is I was in the fashion industry really early, and in Europe, I worked in the fashion industry in Paris, Milan, London, in Germany as well, and I did only fashion. And then when I came to New York, I started doing a lot of celebrities as well, which was weird for me, and I didn't like it as much as the fashion. I like
Really?
fashion models. In those days, they would come in with a pack of cigarettes and that's it. Like they just didn't do anything except be absolutely gorgeous and talented at being models. And yeah, it was it was amazing. And so I came to New York and I started doing a lot of celebrities, and I'd been traveling so much before that, and I came when I was 28. And I was like, am I going to travel all around the world all my life? Or am I? So I really fell in love with New York. Like I didn't know where to live. I just traveled
Mm-hmm.
into New York. I really fell in love with it. And I thought, oh, I wonder what it'd be like to have like friends and a boyfriend and, like a house, like an apartment. So I put roots down and I did that for a while. And I've been writing, since I've been a kid, keeping a journal. And when I would get drunk at dinners with the fashion people I would read stuff, and everybody loved it. And they said, you should be a songwriter.
Really?
So by the time I was getting close to 40, I was like, one day I got a wild hair and I remembered there was a singing teacher that lived above me, no, below me. And so I went down there and I said, well, I'd like to take some singing lessons. So then
Wow.
she read, her name was Franny Burke, and she read my words and poems and things. And she said, yeah, your stuff is really good. So she taught me how to sing and she taught me how to play the piano.
Oh, is that you right there?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Is that it when you first moved to New York?
That's at the Sidewalk Cafe.
Oh, I remember the Sidewalk
Yes.
Cafe.
Yeah, it closed in 2017, but it was the biggest open mic in the world for 20, it was around for, I don't know, 25 years or something.
Yes, I remember it well.
Yeah. So I started out there. I would go there to the open mic and, try it out. It was scary.
I know. Open mics are really great though. Like that is the way to do it. Just get to as many as you can. A lot of our listeners are also singers and they're whatever they do lots of things. They're comedians. But and sometimes people are like open mics. They're really a great way to meet other people that do what you do, be inspired, and just get your nerves settled, because the more you do it, the more comfortable you feel.
I was horribly nervous because
Really?
I've been behind the scenes being a makeup artist. And I would be so sick with fear. And I did for a while, I did 5 open mics a week to try to overcome. And not to be rude, but I'd be throwing up in the bathroom. I was so nervous.
Wow.
And
Then
one
how
day,
did you
huh?
how did you start writing? Did you start writing on the piano, or because I know you play the guitar too?
I started on the guitar.
Oh, you
Yeah.
started on the guitar. Okay.
Yeah. And my guitar teacher was John Berenzi, who he lives upstate, but he's a fabulous songwriter and musician.
Wow.
And he taught me how to play the guitar. And I have really small hands, so it was not easy for me. I loved it. It wasn't easy.
Yeah. Do you buy like a certain guitar because it feels like for me, I love an Ovation. There's something about it that is very comfortable for me. It's just the way it's curved. But I know, like you said, you have small hands. A lot of my friends that are women, they play Taylors, things like that. Gibsons are smaller. So do you love your guitar? Like, when you found your guitar, were you like, this is it, this is the one, or do you have lots of guitars?
Well, this particular one here is Canadian made. It's an Art and Lutherie.
Oh.
And it's a looker. I mean, I call it the guitar Black Beauty. It's beautiful and it's really travels well. It's really solid.
Wow.
And the thing about it that I don't like is you can't play past the 12th fret very easily. Like it's a shorter, and the neck is a little bit thick. So I'm still really looking for the perfect acoustic guitar for me. I found the perfect electric guitar, which is a Fender Telecaster. I love that guitar. Yeah.
That's really a lot of people love that.
I have one from Chelsea Guitars it's like a Japanese reissue, 1961.
Wow.
It's a beautiful guitar and it's so comfortable to play and everything.
Yeah, that's what it is. People don't realize that instruments you kind of like, people say, become one with your instrument. And a lot of people don't know what does that mean? It means that you literally feel connected to it. Like I mean, for me, it does. Like, it's just it's a relationship.
So you play guitar and piano as well.
I don't really play piano, but I do play guitar. Yeah, I'm great at my own songs. And I can pick up stuff that's easy enough, but I'm not the greatest guitar player. But I play for myself or with my students. when we write songs, I can play for them. You know, 'cause I teach after school performing arts, and it's part social work, part, arts.
Music therapy. Uh-huh.
But I love it. You know, I mean, I didn't really take lessons. I kind of like, just went and looked at chords, and then I had friends that were guitar players. So they would show me and say, like, well, this is going to go with that, which is going to go. Or if you do this, it's easier than doing that. I'd be like,
I
oh,
I think it's really good to have a guitar teacher.
yes.
It's like they're not doing you any favors. You're giving them a little money. It's that time they're teaching you. It, I believe in it. But I couldn't play a solo until this year. Like I actually
Really?
the last song, maybe the song I wrote really recently. I put a solo in it. I heard it and I was able to play it. And listen, it is so simple. But for me, it was like, wow.
Yeah, I don't put a solo in. I mean, I put a little instrumental in songs, but not like a solo line. That's
No,
really
no, that's probably what it is, but I call it a solo because I always
I love that though.
it's just a musical break that I'm playing on the guitar, but it's like to me, it's a solo.
It's a big deal. It is a solo. It's a big deal. Now, so I think it is. You started writing songs, and what did you write the lyrics first and then you added music, or did you kind of like, did it, kind of start with a hook?
I started writing the lyrics first, and then as I got better, now I do them together, but I did start with just the words.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I think that happens unless, do you ever write with other people or you just write for yourself?
Very rarely. I write with my guitarist, Hugh Poole.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Is he in your videos?
Yes, he's
the
the greatest guitar player I've ever heard. He's unbelievable. I saw him opening for Patti Smith.
Oh, wow.
Warsaw. The guy's like 6'7". And I
Really?
was looking at him, and this is 20 years ago. And I was I was looking at him, and I said to Billy, I go, that's who I want. How would I ever get that guy? And then I saw him in a restaurant, and he was arguing with the waitress, saying they didn't charge him enough.
Oh my God.
He has his whole family there. He has a wife, 2 beautiful kids and everything. And he was like, you guys didn't charge me enough. I don't feel right about this. And I'm like, oh my God.
When does that ever happen?
So I told him, I was like, and then he ended up, he had a recording studio. So I had like a band, and I went in and started recording. I knew nothing. He taught me how to sing into a microphone. He taught me how. And then eventually my guitar player left the band and he joined, and I've been with him ever since. Yeah.
Oh, how long has that been now?
I don't know, like 20 years or.
Oh, wow. So this is not a new thing.
It has to be getting close to 20 years by now. I don't remember exactly.
So now you have 8 albums. 8 albums.
I think so. I gotta check it on the Spotify.
Oh, wow.
What if I see your whole work right there? Yeah, but I have 8, I think, and I'm just doing a 9th one now.
Okay, so if you folks, you want to go to Spotify, it's Lorraine, Lorraine. Leckie is spelled Leckie. So, and is it and her demons, right?
And her demons, yeah.
And what a great name.
Uh-huh.
That is a great name.
There they are. There they are.
Leckie and her demons. Oh my God, what a great name. And what I love about your stuff, Lorraine, is it's all different. Like I listen to a bunch of, like I would just pick one randomly. I'd be like, oh, that doesn't sound anything like the last one. And I'd be like, that's really, oh wait, okay. Go to something and be like, that's really cool. It's completely different than this one. And yet I like them all for different reasons. So it's kind of like when you listen, I mean, for me, when I listen to your music, it was like walking into a house and going into different rooms. It all makes sense because it's under the same roof, but the rooms are different. Does that make sense?
It really does make sense because I write on the Telecaster, and that makes it kind of psychedelic, very rock. I write on the acoustic, that makes it folkier. The piano's more ethereal.
Yes.
And I think that in a way, like a lot of artists, like their stuff is very cohesive and concise, and it's them, and they just write like that. But yeah, my stuff is I write from a few different perspectives, definitely.
Yeah, I love it. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. So now, how did you meet your husband?
Well, I met my husband in the East Village,
Of
in
course.
the Lower East Side, East Village of Puma Pearl. Heard me call the Lower East Side, the East Village. She'd kill me. The Lower East Side, yeah. And we met
Love
at
it.
Dolphin Gym.
Oh, so you met at the gym.
Met at the gym.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that. I
yeah.
love that.
He was kind of. I say he was looking at me like I was the last hors d'oeuvre on the plate. I was like, this guy, because it wasn't my usual, like he's a big guy, and I usually go for the skinny, kind of more whatever. And so I was like, that guy was kind of whoa. And then I'd see him riding around the Lower East Side on his Harley, and I was like, oh, there's that guy again. I saw him all the time. Then at the flea market, I went to the flea market every single weekend because I'm a flea market freak.
Yeah, yeah, I love him too.
Oh my God. And all of a sudden I felt something pressed kind of on my back, and I heard a guy say, give the little lady a good deal. And I was like, look at that guy. And I look behind and he's looking down at me, and I'm like, oh my God, it's that guy.
So is that guy around? Is he home tonight?
Oh,
That
he's
guy?
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should we pull him in?
I'd say so.
Well, I think it's time for that guy.
I think so. I'll go get him. Hang on. I
Yeah,
don't
go
want to
get-
hear too loud. Hey, Billy. Whoa. You might get two for the price of one.
Oh, I love it. Let's
Bro.
bring on the boys. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were just hanging out with Lorraine Leckie, and now her husband Billy is going to join us.
I'll get rid of them. Okay.
No, don't get rid of him.
No, you could bring him. You could bring
No,
him.
no,
So,
don't get rid of him.
Okay.
Brogan,
I
come
mean,
here.
see, he's probably going to behave himself. Maybe he was just, he was protecting Lorraine.
Everybody's going to want to see him. Brogan, come here.
So, I mean, we love dogs on this show. We love cats. We love dogs. We're big animal people. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at he's sitting in a chair. He loves it. Brogan, are you going to let your papa into the frame?
Yes. You know what I can do? I can do this.
Oh, switch. You switch. There
No,
you
no.
go.
There we go.
I love it. Billy, welcome to our show.
Oh.
What did you think of that introduction? That little hors d'oeuvre on the last hors d'oeuvre on the plate. She said.
I told him
Oh.
about how we met, that you were
Oh, I didn't hear that part. No, I
Yes.
was upstairs. But I
Well,
remember. Yes.
You remember it. Okay, you met at the gym, then you came up behind her at the flea market and said, let the little lady have a good deal.
Exactly.
You rode around in your Harley. She told us that, which is so sexy. Who doesn't love a motorcycle person? I mean, I love that. So, Billy, now you have a whole history of your own before you met Lorraine, right? You were in the industry you were in was antiques and props, right?
Yes. No, but I
Okay.
still am. I'm still an antique dealer.
Oh, I love it. So tell us about that.
So, like that's what all this background stuff is. I've been doing antiques for 35 years.
Wow. And how did you start doing that? Did you used to go to flea markets as a kid or go to antique shows?
Not as a kid, but as in my 20s, I went to 25th Street Flea Market in Chelsea, in Manhattan,
Yeah, of course.
and I bought a painting for like $2,000, which was a lot of money for me at the time.
Of course.
It really was. And I put it at Christie's, and it sold for $18,000, and I was like, oh my God. So that gave me a lot of confidence into buying and selling antiques. And that's all I do. I try to buy at a reasonable price and I try to sell it. It's really basic.
That's phenomenal. Now, I always feel like the reason I like antiques is because I feel like there's a life before it got to me, right? And I'm interested in that life. Like, I want to know what energy that piece holds.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's what draws me. So you're surrounded by lots of ghosts, like
Yes.
good ghosts, right? Like really
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah. Who was it that told me that there's a phobia that I forget remember the phobia? I forget the name. There's a certain phobia against antiques. Like
Uh-huh.
Really?
that freak out because it's like, they're allergic to antiques. And I never heard that. I forgot the name now. I forget.
Well, there's an allergy to everything, isn't there? Like a phobia about everything. But
Yes.
I would imagine that it's people that are easily spooked because, I mean, to me, antiques hold so much history, right? Like
Oh,
when I go into an antique store, I think, what happened there? Who had that before? How many people have owned that? What took place around it? What does that antique know? And Danielle, who's pops on the show all the time, she's a psychic and a medium. I bet you she's got some stories about different pieces and homes and stuff like that. I
the
bet
cre-
you do.
yeah, no, the thing that comes to mind is at the flea market, and this has happened several times
Yeah.
because I go to the flea market, so you get a lot of people that do clean outs and they just throw
Oh,
everything
yeah,
on
of course.
tables and that. And a lot of times you'll come across family photo albums
Mm,
and you'll see because no one wants them. Okay, they're
yeah,
not
of course.
unless it's a famous person, but you'll see the person's entire life, like people just flipping, things being thrown out, and you just flip through it and you see them young, then they get older, and then it's just really to think they end
Wow.
up on the table at the flea market.
Isn't that something? Yeah, that's really. I mean, we just had to clean out my dad's house because my parents are gone now, and that was one of those things where everybody was kind of like, "I'll take this, I'll take that. Should we give that?" And it's, some things you're just like, you want to pass them on,
Yes.
and other things, it does belong to you, and or you spend time with it. It's like I just find things very interesting. So you're still doing that. How do we find you, Billy? How do we find you in your place and your stuff?
Well, I mean, it's here. I'm here at the store, but it's by appointment only, and
Okay.
I I used to sell to the general public a lot. Like I set up
Mm.
at the flea market. I had a shop on Bowery in Houston,
Yeah.
Billy's Antiques, which was a tent on Houston Street, and that was great. It gave me everything I ever, it gave me everything.
Mm.
And luckily, I got a TV show out of that.
Oh, how cool.
We got first TV show was Baggage Battles on Travel Channel, and we did
How cool.
seasons of that.
Oh,
And
I
then,
love that.
so that was great because the money was great.
Yeah.
I liked it. And then I got another show called Billy Buys Brooklyn, which is on HBO Max. That's streaming on HBO Max. And they did it all about this shop and me making deals at this shop, but kind of like Pawn Stars.
Yeah. Oh, how cool. I love that. So
Yeah.
everybody should go and check that out. Billy Buys Brooklyn
Yeah.
right now on Max. Now, Lorraine, you have a poetry show coming up, right?
My first poetry reading.
Wow. Okay, so tell us about that.
Well, I do a 2-hour daily practice and I play the Telecaster for half hour. And then it's like a cake, and then I play the acoustic guitar harmonica. I play a little piano and then I write.
I
And
love
so
it.
for years, I've kept a journal my whole life since I've been a child.
Yeah.
I'll write a little poem or something, but I don't share them ever.
Wow.
And then, I recently lost my mother, which was completely devastating. And I started writing these poems and I just got this wild hair. Like I thought maybe if I put the poem up and people see it, somehow maybe it'll help me with the pain. Like
Hmm. Absolutely.
usually don't do stuff like that. Like I don't share on social media personal too
Yeah.
much. I do shows and the regular stuff. So I started writing. I started putting these poems up for my mom, and I got this incredible response.
Of course.
Got an incredible response, and I was completely shocked because I thought, oh, no one's going to care about this, and And then I got asked to do my first poetry reading, so I've never done that before.
Wow.
And so it's going to be on June 3rd at KGB Bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. And where is that exactly, KGB
4th
Bar?
Street.
4th Street.
Yeah, and the woman who runs it, her name's Perry Piano, and she's a fabulous musician, artist, human being. She's just great.
What's the address? KGB Bar? Do you remember?
I don't know, but it's 4th and like between third and second.
I can see it in my head too. I know exactly where it is. Yeah.
Crane Theater's there, and they have the Red Room upstairs.
There's a big staircase. The staircase goes right up. It's really steep.
Yeah, that area. See, I wore my Houston Street shirt tonight because this is a company I love. It's called Subway Tiles, and the T-shirts look exactly like the Subway tiles. You know.
I did. I saw a ton of Subway signs.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, the enamel. The enamel Subway signs.
I guarantee you have been to Billy's Antiques. If you look it up, Billy's Antiques, it was like a big tent, and it covered Houston Street between Bowery and Elizabeth.
I know exactly where it is.
With the stuff on the sidewalk, all this.
Yes, I've walked by there a trillion times. I used to live on Houston Street and 6th Avenue.
Yeah, so coming east, you would have seen it.
Yeah, I used to live there I lived there for years and years. Now I live all the way up in Washington Heights, so I'm not down there as much. But I love all that stuff.
Yeah, no.
And you know, the art wall that started
Keith Haring,
Billy started that.
Really?
I approached the landlord and I told him, that wall had an original Keith Haring huge tag, and he goes, "I didn't know that." Wow. And he then contacted Jeffrey Deitch and the Keith Haring Foundation, and they recreated the wall.
Oh my God!
They gave me credit for, helping out, but they did a little book on it, and they credited me, which was nice, because usually you give them a good idea and they just forget about it.
Of course, or they steal it. People are really, a lot of people do that kind of thing.
Yeah, his name was Tony Goldman.
Oh, how cool! I love that. So, Lorraine, would you feel comfortable reading one of your poems?
I'm going to read for Lori because Lori requested one.
Okay.
I will read it.
Well, we're very honored that you're going to do that. And
this is written as it's been, 10 months of just the worst period of my life. And
I know, I've been there, honey. I got you.
Yeah. And this poem is a little bit more hopeful and I feel like I'm coming out of it. So it's called Bigger. I took my 2 little friends, love and death, measured them with a tape measure to see who's biggest. Death is 87 feet tall. Love is 88. Love walks taller. Love is bigger than death. Mama, you gave me your magic ring. When I rub it, you appear like a genie. Death is nowhere to be found, just you and me, as we always were, madly in love. Bigger than death, bigger than anything, bigger.
Wow, that is beautiful. I'm crying.
Yeah,
just beautiful. That Billy, I'm sure you knew her mom.
Yeah, her mom was I got so much love from her mom, and she was my mother-in-law, but she was just a great woman, real salt of the earth woman. She was great, and we had no idea. I mean, you know how it happens when you're
87,
all of a sudden it's like curtains.
I know. My dad just passed away in October, and it was the same thing. He was fine, and then he fell, and then the next thing you know, you're like, what the hell? It's like, that's how it happens. And you know what? I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been thinking about the fact that it's so important that we leave our mark on this world and that we live the lives that we really want to live, because it's our duty to do that, to honor ourselves and especially those of us that are creative. I think most people are creative. I do. I feel like a lot of people don't give themselves permission or they have to do what they got to do. And people like us are pretty lucky because we get to be creative on a daily basis. But I feel like that's your body of work is your mark on this planet, whatever that is.
She's got a big body of work, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
body of work. Whenever she gets down, I say, listen, you got your music. And when you're gone, that's what you're going to leave here is your music. That's what's so beautiful. I'm just going to leave a bunch of rotting antiques.
no, listen, you have.
Hey, this is
What?
a perfect moment to talk about the best thing in our lives, Selena Leroy.
Yes, of course.
Daughter.
Our daughter.
Tell me about that. Is that the song Misfit is about your daughter, right?
Yes.
She's a New York City school teacher, art school teacher, public school. She's a city worker. And she has been doing it for like 6 years, 5 years.
Since 2020, yeah.
Wow.
And she's incredible. So on her off time, she started painting people with facial differences.
Really?
Just because she's born with a birthmark on her face.
Uh-huh.
That she put up with the makeup, and it's she's had it since she was born. And when she was a little kid, she was picked on, and they really, it was horrible. Okay.
Yeah.
To this day,
kids are mean. Kids are mean.
Yeah, kids are ruthless. And she became this she's just such a good person inside. She's not a blabbermouth, and she's quiet.
She's compassionate.
She listens. She doesn't, talk and talk. Like a lot of these kids are so hyper, like they move faster than you can think. She listens, and anyway, so she started painting these people with facial differences, and people really with face. Like people that have horrible deformities.
Wow.
And she wasn't trying to sell them. She just started contacting them on Instagram saying, listen, I'm a painter. I'd like to do your portrait because, I have a birthmark. I don't know what she said exactly, but she got their interest, and they would say, okay. And she started painting. And now she's at work, and she's getting a lot of traction because she's doing a really good thing. She's uniting these people together.
That's incredible.
All separate. They were all kind of like living their own lives, and she kind of brought them together. And she had an art show here at the store about a month ago, 6 weeks, a month ago. And it was incredible to be with these people because you can't help not notice what's wrong.
Right.
Face, and some are more extreme than others, but they were so strong inside. Like if I get a pimple, I freak out.
Yeah.
And here they have, it was great to just be around them. And then when they all left, there were just all the paintings were hung here. We had all the paintings. What
an incredible story.
And I had just met them, and then they were gone, and the paintings lived. I really felt the paintings. They really have a lot of
I believe that.
And she's getting they did a documentary on British documentary that's part of the Churchill Foundation in England, and it's about bullying in England with people. They have a lot of problems in England, apparently, much more so than in the States.
Really?
They bully. Yeah, it's really bad. And this girl's director was telling me about this, filmmaker was telling me about this, and she was really intrigued by Selena, so she came here and filmed the opening, and she interviewed Selena, and it'll be very interesting when it's finished.
And when she started, this is a vascular birthmark. It's called a port wine stain. And when it's the lip, it grows, and it makes the lip grow. And she had surgery, on it to take the tissue out of the lip. She may have to have another one, but she was wanted to be an actress and a model, and she's very beautiful. And she was always like, if I didn't have this, it was a problem. And then when she got started, after she started teaching everything, she just did a painting of herself and put it on Instagram. And these people started being drawn to it. And then she started actually going out and finding people. And then she got hooked up with this really big gallery called Positive Exposure. And the guy who runs that is Rick Guidotti, who was a fashion photographer who
Cool.
did to shoot models. He wanted to shoot all kinds of. He started with albinos and anybody that's different, or any and so they hooked up, and he has a
Wow.
gallery, and she's going to do her third show with him. And it's
So it's
just
really
growing,
interesting.
and she's getting better. Like the quality of the
Yeah,
painting
because she's
is
working
like,
every day.
oh my
And
god,
it's an oil. It's an oil. So it's
Oh, wow. So that's
uh,
very intricate. That's not easy.
yeah, no, well, yeah, right. I mean, it's it just dries differently than acrylic. You know, it stays wet for a long time. And
Yeah.
it's harder to master, I think. Well, that's what
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, okay. So Selena Leroy,
Yeah.
is it spelled with a C or an S?
C.
C. Okay. So look up, everybody look up Selena.
and if you go to at Port Weinstein Paintings on Instagram, you'll see everything.
Yeah,
At Port
is-
Weinstein's
Weinstein Paintings, you'll see everything.
paintings.
Yeah.
Okay. And your show again now is going to be your poetry show?
Oh, my poetry. Whoa. It's going to be June 3rd at the KGB bar at 7:00.
Okay, but you also play live a lots of times, right?
Yeah,
Your band.
right now I'm working on my album. It's called Goddamn Outer Space.
I love it.
And it's being mastered right now. So over the summer, I'm going to work on some videos. I'm hoping to release it in the fall at Mercury. I usually do most of my shows at Mercury Lounge with my band.
I love the Mercury Lounge. It's a
No,
great
it's
place.
favorite.
Did you grow up in New York City?
I grew up in Boston, but I've lived here for 35 years. So I've lived here longer than I lived there.
Right. I went to school in Boston,
You went to school in Boston?
Northeastern University.
Oh, that's an amazing school.
Yeah, it was
An
cool.
amazing school.
I love Boston.
I love Boston too, and I partied a lot around the colleges. That's
Yeah.
what I did. I was a party girl.
Flagon, remember that place?
Yeah, of course. Right next to Fenway Park.
Fenway Park. Yep. I went to the Art Institute. I went to Northeastern, and then I went to the Art Institute of Boston in Kenmore Square.
Well, yeah, I know that area so well. A lot of my friends went to Emerson, so I was constantly, and I used to go to a lot of comedy shows. The Rathskeller, I used to go to the Rathskeller, all those punk places, and it just was like.
Do you remember that Mr. Butch? He was a Rastafarian homeless guy in Kenmore Square, and he became an icon of Kenmore Square.
Really?
He was there when I was in art school, so that was like 30 years ago, or whatever.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that was such a cool place. I'm sure it still is. And my niece went to Mass Art. My
Nice.
niece was the same birthday as you, Lorraine. She went to Mass Art, so she was down there a lot. That's a really cool area. Now,
Lived in
in Brooklyn?
in
yeah.
Brooklyn.
Oh, Brookline. Yes, I was
Right.
going to say.
You're right. Yeah, I had a great deal on an apartment. Anyway,
That's a beautiful apartment.
Alston.
Yeah,
Alston.
Alston, Brookline. Then it goes into, I think, Jamaica Plain. But I grew up in the North End, so the Italian section. You know, and then Somerville, and then Stoneham, right near Tufts College. I grew up, so I used to go to Harvard Square constantly. We used to just get on buses. Our parents didn't even know where the hell we were.
It was a party. I mean, I remember a party because I stopped drinking 22 years ago.
Oh, okay, good. Well, good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I put the plug in the jug.
plug in the jug. That's right. Listen, it's not. It comes a time where you just have to make a decision. Like a lot of my friends in New York, they don't know me as a drinker, you know, because I moved here. I was sober. And I remember one time I was doing my sister was in town, and somebody said, I can't even imagine you drunk. And my sister just turned and went, you don't want to. And that was just the way she said it. You knew that she knew the truth about it. So, you know, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys that I do a food section of a show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. So we have come to the food section of our show. And what I do every week is, in order to get I bring on wonderful creative people. I must stay creative myself. So what did I make tonight?
Oh wow!
Yep. As I said, I'm on the keto because I gotta lose weight to get in the suit for my show on Sunday. So there's no carbs. Listen, you've never seen anyone eat like me. So when I have to be good, I go on the keto. But what did I make tonight? Doesn't this look pretty?
Yes.
So
What?
I made shrimp with scallions, red peppers, and peas. And what I used was sumac and herb spices. I used ajika, which is a Middle Eastern spice that I'm crazy about, that I discovered a couple years ago. And it's spicy, but it also it's kind of used in shawarma and things like that. So I used some ajika, garlic, a little marsala wine, and a lot of butter. So I can have all those things on keto. And so this is what I made myself. I'm not going to have any carbs with it. And
Question.
What?
Did you use ajika in the Three Kings soup? That's your.
I do that. I use ajika in the Three Kings soup. That's why I make this. I have this line of sauces and soups. Yes, I do use ajika, and I love it. And I never knew what it was, and I discovered it in 2020.
You write that down.
Yeah, it's Ajika. It's from the Middle East.
Ajika.
I want to say it's from Yemen, and it's phenomenal.
Sounds
It's
cool.
phenomenal. Yeah, it's really cool. So that's one of the spices that I love. I love Middle Eastern food. So, but anyway, so what did I make for salad? I love salad, and I tell everybody if I didn't love salad, I'd be 4,000 pounds because I'd just be eating cake and pasta. So thank God for my salads. So I always try to make a delicious salad. This is romaine lettuce with. Now listen, you know why there's so much red on this? Because
What?
I'm honoring Canada. I tried to use as much red as I could in this salad. So this is my ode to Canada salad. So I have red radishes. I have a little red leaf lettuce in there, and a romaine. I have some black oil cured olives. Sometimes they call them Sicilian olives. I have a Vidalia onion, a hothouse cucumber in there. I'm going red peppers. I'm going crazy with the red for Canada. We're honoring our Canadian friends.
Canada.
I'm trying to get Maria to come to Toronto with me because I go every few months.
Oh, no, you don't tempt me.
You
I
should come with me.
always wanted to go to
Real Canadian.
No, yeah, we could. Yeah.
I love Canadians. I'm telling you, growing up in Boston, so many of my friends' parents were from Canada, and they were the nicest people I ever met in my life. And one of my favorite co-writers, because I've written a lot of songs, her name's Karen Cole. She's one of my favorite co-writers, and she's from Toronto. So now I'm going for the red again for the Canadians. So
That's great. No carbs. That's great.
Jesus, no carbs here. Billy, look at this. I'm trying so hard. Or as they say in Boston, I'm trying wicked hard.
Wicked high.
Wicked hard. So these are apples. I took some red delicious apples and just a little peanut butter in the middle. That's what I'm having for dessert until after my show. And then I will have a cannoli, several cannolis, and Italian pastries. But for now, we're ode to Canada red dessert tonight. So that's what's happening. We always do the go ahead, keep eating part of the show. And that was it.
That's
All
funny.
right. So our show has come to an end. I can't believe it. Let's recap. Leo, what are you laughing at, Leo? So
Can I say one thing?
Of
course
I
you can
just
say
seen it.
several things.
I'm hearing Mario from last week going over your red apples, going, oh, oh.
I know. He did it as Julia Child. It was hysterical. What were you going to say, Lorraine? You said, can I say one thing?
Okay, so my thing is, I always have a thing. So my thing is Lori Towers jewelry.
Oh, I know.
So what I do is I wear one of her pieces every day, and sometimes I wear it alone. But even when I like to wear big necklaces.
Wow.
I have it. See how good it looks
that's
this in the set.
phenomenal.
And I can't believe out of the blue, she's making these beautiful pieces. You know,
Wasn't it you who said Lori has 13 brains?
Yes, Lori has 13 brains. She only sleeps 4 hours a night. She hasn't been sick since 1977. It's ridiculous. She has 13 brains.
Yeah, she's
so smart. Where's my Lori? I had it today and I moved it over there. I usually have it right here. But yes, Lori's jewelry is gorgeous and cool and funky. Oh, Leo has his. I have the arrowhead. I love the arrowhead.
I have the tomahawk.
Yeah, you have the tomahawk. And now she's come up with a new line for Pride. That's really cool. There's some new Pride.
The spike
pieces.
in the hoop ring. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I heard.
So once again, if we want to find you and your amazing stuff, where do we find it?
My mind. The thing is, I don't. I don't have a website. I don't do social media.
He does have a website. Look.
No, I know, but that's for the T-shirts. I mean, I don't put my stuff that I sell on my.
No, but where do we find you, Billy? Are you still on
I was going to say that's Fergie. There. Anyway,
I love it.
the T-shirts are great. Lorraine runs that.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt.
Way to find me is you can contact me.
I'm Billy Leroy, old New York to the core.
Can I make you an offer you can refuse?
My shop in Manhattan was legendary, but when the developers knocked it down, I had to start over, across the river, in Brooklyn.
What do you got there?
Political button.
Wow. MLK for president. You found the most collectible jukebox. 1954.
This is the first generation Santa Cruz.
This is so rad.
Look at this, baby.
If the dog
my
dances,
game.
We got a deal. It's all about knowing when yesterday's junk becomes valuable. Billy Buys Brooklyn.
I should do this for a living.
Stream the full series now only on Discovery Plus.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
So you can find my contact info is on my website, but I'm at the flea market every weekend running around. That's where I meet.
I love that.
Is at the flea market.
But we can stream this. We can watch this. Billy Buys Brooklyn. Everybody, come on, let's go. And I wanted Brendan Ryan, who's our friend. He answered your question, Billy, about what do you call that when people have that phobia about antiques.
Okay.
And he said epiphilophobia. So EPIPLAP and then epiphilophobia, whatever. But anyway, it's EPIPLA.
That's it. Thank you.
Yes.
That's
and Ryan is a retired police sergeant. So NYPD. He's a really cool guy. He's seen a lot of stuff.
So he knows.
He knows. So Mandar joined us. Jill Crozian joined us. I didn't want to forget about anybody. So many great people have joined us. All right. Lorraine and Billy, you made my night. It was so nice hanging out with you.
This was fun.
And Lorraine, how do we find you? You have a website, right?
Oh, she's all over the place.
Yeah.
So LorraineLeckie.com, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And go to it because I love your website. And you can see so much of what Lorraine has done already and what she's doing. And it's really, really, really cool. So you guys are so great. It was so wonderful to spend the hour with you. Leo, thank you for doing all that you do. Isn't he wonderful?
Isn't he wonderful?
We like Leo.
Yeah. Leo's
Well, actually, you know what we should do before we go? Actually, Lorraine will probably be joining me tomorrow night.
Lori and John's. Go ahead. You talk about it. You talk about it, Leo.
You talk about it. I always talk about it. Lorraine, you're on. Go for it. What do we do on Wednesdays?
Oh, Wednesday, Beneath the Underground, WFMU from 10 to midnight with that hunky historian, John Pietro, and Brogan's girlfriend, Lori Towers.
I love it. I love it. Yes, so go and check that out. And folks, if you're not busy on Sunday night, this Sunday, May 25th, I'm going to be at Green Room 42. I have my own show. It's about 70 minutes, and I have a band and everything, and they're great. So please come and see us. And if you can't make it, you can get the live stream. And if not, I love you either way. It doesn't matter. Thank you for supporting all of us. Oh my God, there's Mel. So I have a calendar. It's called Nothing But the Apron Calendar. And I get my friends to wear nothing but our aprons. So this is Mel England. He lives in Palm Springs, and he is very hunky, and he is wearing nothing but the apron. Do you know that Lori and John did one last year? They were Mr. and Mrs. November. You think I'm kidding?
Amazing.
Next time I see you, I'm going to give you a calendar from last year. You're not going to believe it. Oh, here, Leo has it. And they have their, wait to see it. Leo, you have it?
November.
Mr. No, because Lori's a Scorpio, as we know.
She's great.
I don't think
They're both great. I mean, she's
Yeah, they're fantastic. So I have this year's, I don't have last year's on me, but we'll send it to you, Lorraine.
they're customers. They're customers of mine now.
Oh, there they are. There they are. Lori and John. Nothing but the apron. Look at that. They got a base
Oh,
over there.
that's
They have
great.
bourbon.
You know, Maria, I don't think we have any Canadians in our
Oh,
calendar.
maybe
yet.
next year. Whoa. All right. Something to think about. Something to think about. If you two would like to be in the calendar next year, let me know.
Sorry,
We're gonna start on the keto diet right away.
Oh, you have plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Don't
All right.
worry, I was in the calendar, and the apron is wonderful.
Yeah,
It covers a multitude of donuts.
wonderful. We have so much fun. So anyway, we so are happy that you joined us, and
Yes.
Please come back. And if you ever have anything that you want to promote, just put it on my wall, and I'll put it on the show wall. Send it to me, and we'll just put it up there. And Leo, as always, magnificent. Everybody,
Happy
we love and
birthday
appreciate you.
to you.
Not till midnight. It's not till
Happy
midnight.
But I'm not gonna think
I know,
midnight.
but I can't even have cake, so don't sing to me until after Sunday, after my show. I can't have any cake. All right.
Cha
but
cha
that's
cha.
it. All right. We love you, everybody. We love and appreciate you. Come back every Tuesday at 9. Thank you, everyone. Have a great